One of the most common questions I'm asked after being 25 years in the spinal healthcare field is what posture or how should I lie in bed? How should I sleep on my side, on my back? Is it okay to lay on my stomach? And then also, what type of pillow do I recommend? So that's what we're going to dive into today. Welcome back to Back Talk with Dr. Ryan. I'm Dr. Ryan Wohlfert, and on each of these episodes, I address the most common questions and misconceptions about back pain and spinal health in general, how you can strengthen your spine and be your own guarantee for your health in your life. So today, we're going to be talking about proper and the right sleeping postures and also what pillow is right for you. So let's do that right now. We're going to start off with your side lying posture, whether it's in bed or even on a couch. The principles here apply whether you're on either of those or however you're laying down. You want your head and neck supported, and you want it level with whatever surface you're lying on. So ideally, it's going to be level with the floor, level with obviously the angle of the mattress, and you don't want your head cranked up too high and you don't want your head dipped down and tipped down low. You want it level. You want your nose lined up with your chest. If you can see my chest right here. We want these points lined up just like if we were standing up with ideal posture. We want your hips aligned with the rest of your legs. That's why a lot of times it's good to put a pillow or some type of spacer between your knees. A pillow tends to work well. They have specialized ones where the contour in them. If you have trouble where the pillow will fall out at night, feet stacked on top of each other. But again, just the principle, you want your middle of your feet, middle of your pelvis, middle of your chest, middle of your nose. Actually, on this, my head might be tipped up a little bit too much on this type of pillow. But when we get to different pillow recommendations and the backline posture, this is where the science or the art, I guess, of it comes in, trying to find the right pillow to make sure that if you are both a side and a back sleeper, that you get the right pillow for you. Another tip is to, if you want to take pressure off your shoulders and try to keeping those uh, stacked on top of each other, just like the hips. We want the hips stacked on top of each other. We don't want your hip rolling forward or back. Again, that's why the pillow between the knees tends to help with that. You can always, for the shoulders, you can hug the pillow or hold on to a pillow or something else in that. A pillow works well. If you're lying in bed, there's probably pillows there. Uh, and this allows it so your shoulder, the top shoulder, doesn't create so much pressure on the bottom or you're rolling forward. It helps to keep everything in line. What you want to avoid is crunching up into a ball. I know, this fetal position, if you will, having the knees come up too far where it's rounding your back. And it's just not the best posture that can be conducive to, again, rolling the shoulder forward, rolling the hips, and not keeping this all in line. See, even when you do this, a lot of times what happens is the neck gets the head and neck gets pushed down too far or gets flexed too much. Okay, so we want to avoid that. So next is your back lying posture. So a couple things here. One, and it's again, same principle. We want these points lined up. We want your ear lined up with your shoulder, lined up with your hip, lined up with your ankles. We want that in a straight line. We'll start at the top, work our way down. So a rolled up towel or some sort of pillow that cradles your neck, we want it in a neutral position, just like in the sideline posture. And you can put something underneath your head here, like I put a little blanket here. If you don't want your head tipping down too far, or extended too much, but a rolled up towel, a pillow that again cradles your neck without cranking it up to where it's flexing it and hyperflexing it. You don't want to be propped up on pillows. You want here, if you can see that, again, another little rolled up towel or a blanket underneath the small of your low back to help support that helps support your lumbar curve, the lordosis of your lumbar spine. Rolled up blanket or a towel or even a small pillow underneath your knees if you find that you have low back pain, or if you, when you're lying straight, you have too much stress on your back. This helps to, again, relieve some of that pressure. I did a previous video showing the different positions and activities that we do that put stress and strain on the discs of your low back. So I'll also link to that so you can um, check that out and see that. Because one of the least stressful position is lying down with your, not necessarily in this, but your legs up even more. But for sleeping, I wouldn't recommend that. I'd just a small towel just to keep a little bend in your knees. And what you want to avoid, this here, being propped up on too many pillows, flexing the neck, just puts, and just like when you're sitting, standing, you know, reading, you're on your technology, you're at the computer, you don't want to be hunched over in a forward flex posture for a prolonged period of time because it creates a lot of stress on the spine and the spinal cord. So you definitely don't want to sleep like that. All right, so now what do you do? How do you get up? And you might think this is a little thing, but think about how many times you do this or how often you do that. You do this every day. So there's certain things that we can do to help take stress off the spine and the spinal cord so we're not stressing it, right? And getting up from the lying position is one of those. So let's say you're lying on your back, either in bed or on the couch. The first thing you want to do is lay on your side. If you're already laying on your side, perfect. You're in that position. So you lay on your side and you see the top arm and hand is just right in front of the chest. The bottom, arm is underneath, there, underneath your head or underneath your shoulder, knees bent. So again, this isn't your sleeping position. This is how you're getting up. You're laying on your side, bringing your knees towards your chest. And the second step there, oh, I went back. You drop your legs off the front of the bed or off the side of the bed or the couch. And that provides a counterweight to help, not catapult, but fulcrum you up to the seated position. So you're not fighting against your legs and the rest of your body with that weight, trying to lift you up, doing a sit-up type or sit-up type movement. So from there, legs are off, you got your arms in that position. You're going to use your arm, that top arm, to push you up, and then the bottom arm and elbow to help push you up as the legs, that weight of the legs keeps going down towards the floor to help bring you up. So then you end up in the seated position here, just like that. And if you've had low back pain before, you probably have noticed that your body will automatically go into this position, laying on the side to push yourself up because it knows it takes stress off of your spine. But trying to get up like this, doing a sit up, especially if you have an episode of low back pain, and especially if it's a disc problem, your body is not going to like this. So that tells me that this is the best position and best movement to get up from a lying down position, no matter if you have back pain or not, because it takes a huge amount of pressure off of your low back, off of your spine. So practice this, do this. It's a great way to, again, just decrease the accumulation of stress and strain that you're placing on your spine throughout the day. Just gravity enough can wreak havoc. So we don't want to add to even what gravity does on top of all the other activities that you're doing throughout the day. So very simple to do. It's not like it takes you any more time to do it. And it's so much safer and effective too. All right. So now what about pillows? So the principles apply to this just like it does to, again, when you're lying down, when you're with your posture. I don't have a specific pillow recommendations. I'm going to show you a couple here and show you what to watch out for and look for. I actually saw this one and it was interesting. uh, because you can alter the thickness of it. And that's one of the problems that I find with pillows, because many people are side and back sleepers, including myself. So when you're lying on your back, you want usually more of a thinner pillow because you want your head down. You don't want it propped up. When you're lying on your side, because the shoulders get in the way. And if you have, broad shoulders, even if you don't, even if you're skinny, there's still more space and you need typically a thicker pillow because you have that space to fill up with your head and neck to, from your head to your shoulder. And then we want it to support the neck. So let me show you this first one here. So basically I just typed in ergonomic pillows at Amazon to see if I could find one or ones that I like, and just to show you examples of what I'm talking about, how you want to make sure that if you're laying on your back, that your head and neck is supported in line and in neutral with the head and ear in line with the shoulder. Because often, and I'll show you examples of why I don't like certain pillows. So even this here, you can see that's too high. This is cranking her head up too much. Look how her head is in front of her shoulder. But what I like about this one is you can take out the inner spacer and it's a lot better here. And we want it to cradle the neck, head and neck, and it brings it back into a better position. So that's what I'm talking about is we don't want it cranked up. I use the word cranked a lot, but flexed in this position because it's it's too high. It's putting stress and strain on the neck. But this actually might be a good thickness for when you're a side sleeper. So here, so you see there, head and neck is supported. Let me get rid of that. And I'll provide links for this one too, so you don't have to go trying to find it. So you see here where that thickness on that top one here, her nose is in line with her chest. That's actually good, and it's supporting her neck in a neutral position. So that's what you want to look for, whether you are, again, a side or, well, if you are a side and back sleeper, you want it to support both. So here's another one. Again, I'll provide a link for you as well. And it's, has good reviews. I mean, only 412, whereas the other one had, again, it was almost 4.5 stars and like 15,000 reviews. So that's pretty good for the first one I showed you. But same thing, no matter what pillow you see, you look for, if you look here, her head is cranked up way too far. It's flexed way too much to be sleeping. But on the side, that's a good position. So you have to, you want it, typically a contoured pillow or where there's a hole or a divot. I won't say hole, but the divot, like this one does have that. Where is a good picture of it? If I can, to where the head goes down into it. See, this says aligned spine. It's not aligned. Look, the head is up. Is it sort of supporting the neck? Sure, but it's too high. We want your head to fall back into it, but we want and cradle the neck, but we don't want it to push it up too far. So that way, what you have to play around with, try different pillows. If you're a side sleeper, yes, this is definitely one I would recommend. And if you're a back and side sleeper, maybe if you're a little bit taller, you can do it. But that's why I like that previous one because you can alter the thickness of it. So it's all about the principles that you use. It's all about um, um, keeping the spine in neutral. So yeah, when you're looking for a pillow, just think of those points that I talked about. Is your spine in neutral, especially your head and neck when we're obviously talking about pillows? With your head and neck, if you're a back sleeper, if you're a side sleeper, that's why I like more just like a rolled up blanket, rolled up towel to support your neck. So that's what I'd recommend. I also have a fix your sleep checklist right here. And if you want that, I go into even more tips on how to maximize and optimize your sleep. It's it's a checklist of different measures that you can take, really simple things. You can do everything from, just making sure the temperature is correct in your room, to the essential oils, and maybe even some supplements or nutritional herbs that you could take to help relax your body to sleep better. If you want this fix your sleep checklist, go ahead, type in sleep in the comments, and I'll make sure I get that to you. So hopefully you found this helpful. Definitely like, share, subscribe. If you want more insights, subscribe to this channel, and then share this with friends, family who have asked you, maybe even or are wondering about what type of sleep postures and what type of pillows uh, are the best for them, for you. And definitely, as always, I want you to be your own guarantee for your health and your life, and sleeping deep and getting great sleep is part of that. All right. Have a great day.